Let's start out talking about Rachel. What are your thoughts on her?
My thoughts on Rachel are exactly what I thought when I walked through the door. Insecure, jealous, envious. I knew from the get-go that she was a person that I really couldn't trust or be friends with. And I knew that regardless of the act that she pulled while we were friends, that I couldn't trust her, and I knew that she was going to come after me. I knew it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen this soon, but it did.
Jealous and envious of you?
Yeah, I think that she was. I think that I have a lot of qualities that she doesn't have naturally. I'm strong-willed and determined, and I'm confident and fine with who I am, and she doesn't possess those qualities. So I knew from the beginning that I was going to be a huge target to her.
The two of you were clearly enemies as soon as she got HOH.
Yes.
Why didn't you try and not be so confrontational with her when you knew she had all the power?
Because I've said it before, I'm going to be the way that I just am naturally. I wasn't going to put on an act. I wasn't going to kiss anybody's butt. I mean, I had to stand up for myself, and all I could think is maybe people will see what a stand-up person I am, and maybe they will have more respect for me, because not a lot of people in the house had a whole lot of respect for Rachel. So that crossed my mind, and I thought I can do this without being nice to anybody and win the POV. That's what I thought.
What about when she extended an olive branch and apologized to you, and you refused to accept her apology? Why didn't you accept it?
Because it was literally 10 minutes later that she apologized to me, and I find that people aren't that sincere when they apologize to you just after the fact. If it would have been a day or so after the air had cleared, I would have thought about it more, but it was a very heated moment, and to come to me 10 minutes later with an apology is just totally unacceptable.
Why do you think she apologized 10 minutes later then?
Maybe because she just didn't want to be perceived as a bitch. I'm not sure why she really wanted to apologize to me. Maybe it's because Brendan told her to do so. Whatever it was, I knew it wasn't going to be sincere. So
it sounds like you have no regrets as to how you played this game.
I don't.
Is that so? If you had to do it all over again, would you do anything differently?
I don't think I would. I honestly don't think that I would. People might think, what were you thinking with Andrew? He was a loose cannon. Why would you ever trust him at all? But it's human nature for me to gravitate towards people who are outcasts. So I figured, what a better way than to make an alliance with somebody who is kind of an outcast. Nobody would ever expect it. So no, I have no regrets. I said I was going to go into this game and play with dignity, and I did, and that's the most important thing to me.
What about getting romantically involved with Hayden? Any regrets there, or?
I don't have any regrets, and it is a game, and I knew that he wasn't being completely honest with me. I knew that there was something going on in the background. I don't know when it actually started happening, when this alliance on the side started happening, but I don't regret that either. I think that we had feelings for each other regardless, and only one person can win the $500,000. So I respect people who can go and do it however they can. I do have a heart, and I can't do things behind people's back. And when I make an alliance, that's that. So there was nothing behind his back that I did, and it's not that big of a deal that he did to me. I'm not that concerned about that.
You say you formed a bond with him. Yeah. I imagine so, being locked away for 34 days.
Exactly.
So do you feel as if when he comes out of the house, you want to continue a friendship, a romantic relationship, anything?
I think that he has to focus on what he's doing over the next however many days it is, 45 days or whatever, and I need to take some time to myself and just take this whole entire experience all in and see how I feel when the time is to come when we reunite. So.
Your boyfriend back home was watching, and he said, I hope she comes with a mop because she has some cleaning up to do. What is your response to your boyfriend back home?
Sometimes it's expect the unexpected. And I've never cheated on a boyfriend. I've never done anything behind a boyfriend's back in my entire life. Like I said, I'm a very honest person. I had to be honest to myself when I was in that house, and I had feelings for somebody, and I couldn't deny that. So it's kind of hard when you have feelings for two people at the same time. I've never dealt with that in my entire life, and I thought about my boyfriend every single day, and I thought he probably hates me right now, but I couldn't help what I was feeling in the house.
Before going in the house, did you say to your boyfriend, I have no intention of trying to find another romantic?
I thought that it wasn't even a question. I mean, first of all, I'm the pickiest person in the world. It's very, very hard for me to have connections with people, whether it's friendship-based or relationship-based. So I totally didn't expect to have anything like this even happen.
So it sounds like there could be something there between you and Hayden. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's hard too, because it's like you want to believe that somebody's so genuine, and I think that he was, but when you know that there was something going on behind your back, it's like, how genuine was what me and him had? I think that it was, but you just don't know. There's clearing up that we have to do too.
You're referring to having this brigade alliance with Enzo, Lane, and Matt behind your back. Yeah, what is your response to that? You were suspicious.
I was suspicious.
Why, and how do you feel now that you know your suspicions have been confirmed?
Because I knew that I felt like I only had hope in Reagan and Kathy. And then, I sat there and I was like, okay, well, that leaves Rachel, who obviously hates my guts, and Brendan, and then I was like, things are just working out in a really weird way. I mean, if I would have known this, then I think I would have lasted a lot longer in the game. It was so surprising to be where I was week 4. I knew that there was something that I didn't know about, and I had a feeling that Hayden was involved. I mean, there was a lot of time that we spent apart because we didn't want people in the house to know what was really going on with the two of us.
Did you ever think of asking him point blank, do you have an alliance going on with these other guys?
I should have. I didn't really think that it was necessarily an alliance that had already formed. I thought that there was something in the making, especially between him and Lane. That's why when Lane told me that he was going to give me his vote, I was totally caught off guard. That's why I was like, wait, now this really doesn't make any sense, because Lane told me that he was going to vote to keep me and explained himself why he thought I would benefit him in the game. There were so many twists.
So what do you think that was about now?
I think that Hayden probably had already said to him, maybe you or more than one person should say, maybe I'll give you my vote, or.
Oh, so you think they were in cahoots trying to throw you off their.
Totally.
And are you mad about that, if that's the case?
I mean, they were doing what they were doing. That was their plan. So if that was their plan and they had to throw me off, I mean, it makes sense. You have to respect the gameplay, That's just not the way that I play.
Is this game completely different than how you thought it would be playing it? Watching at home, you probably thought it was going to be one way.
Yes.
Did it turn out to be completely opposite?
Completely opposite. I can't even put it into words how opposite it is. You watch it on TV and you're like, what is that person thinking? Are they idiots? I mean, and then look at what situation I find myself in. I'm a highly intelligent and perceptive girl who got caught in this situation. So it is totally different when you're inside that house.
We also saw you crying a lot this week. Outside of the house, would you describe yourself as an emotional person?
I am one of the most guarded women you will ever meet. I mean, sometimes I go months and years without crying. It's just, that's the way that I am. But it was really intense. It was really, really intense, especially constantly questioning yourself and knowing, I said, I suspected that something was going on, but I couldn't really piece it together. So it was a lot of frustration behind those tears.
What is it about this house what does it do to you being in this house? And do you lose all sense of reality and being rational?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I stayed pretty rational in the house and even keeled, but it's like this little bubble, and you forget how things work outside of the house. I mean, within a week, it's like you forget about just the way that you act every single day, and you're just thinking about the game.
What'd you miss most?
I missed music and just being outside, walking around in the city, and being around my friends and family.
Did you miss hearing what's going on in the world?
Yes and no. It was kind of almost nice to
have a vacation from
the cell phone and the computer and everything else. It was kind of nice too. So.
Well, how about we play a little game of true or false?
Okay.
You tell me if these headlines are real or not.
Oh my God. Okay.
True or false? Entertainment Tonight host Mary Hart signs a 10-year contract, bringing her to a total of 40 years on the show.
True?
False. She just announced that she'll step down after next season after a mere 30 years on the show. All right, next one. True or false? Bristol Palin and the father of her baby, her ex-boyfriend Levi Johnston, get engaged and make the cover of People magazine, only to break up once again.
True?
It is true. Bristol, the same day they announced their engagement, Bristol said Levi told her he might have fathered a baby with another girl. Right? True or false? This is the last one.
Okay.
Ellen DeGeneres says she will not be back as a judge next year on American Idol.
False?
True. Still no word on who will fill in for her or for Simon Cowell.
Wow.
Well, Kristen, you played the game with dignity,
I
and
did.
that says a lot.
Thanks.
We thank you for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.